understanding of law with reference to flesh, then there should not be any commandment at all. Because according to his understanding, law was flesh. And by Jesus, as he understood the Son of God, acquiring flesh for himself and punishing the flesh, he practically did away with all law. And from then on, all you need is the Holy Spirit, without reference to any law. So if he did away with all the law and did away with all the flesh, why keep a limb alive in the name of 10 Commandments? So that proves that his understanding of the law versus Christianity was not right. In fact, what Jesus was emphasizing, and here I come back, return to the question of the Holy Spirit, that people earlier, the people of the book of Moses, had overmuch emphasized the shell against the spirit. They stuck to the laws of the Old Testament without endeavoring to follow the spirit of the law. So outwardly they were very staunch, even extremists, zealot Jews and Jewish leaders who appeared to be a living image of the Torah. But according to Jesus Christ, you peep into their hearts and you find them empty of the spirit of Torah. So he emphasized the Holy Spirit, in fact. He said it is the Holy Spirit which is all important. But he never meant to do away with the law as a whole. So that is why you find 10 Commandments also, which are the essence of Judaic teachings. So there is no contradiction in Jesus, no contradiction in the belief in the Holy Spirit and the belief in the commandments, whatever they be. They are one and the same thing. But one must follow the spirit of the law, but it cannot survive without the letter, without the shell. Thank you. Have I answered your question, or there something still remains to be answered, please?
I'll just put, it's like...
would you kindly come to the microphone now?
Yeah, being brought up as a Christian, yeah? With your trust and evidence through Jesus. I mean, how do you exchange this trust into Islam? How can you...
You see, if you trust a prophet of God, in fact you trust all the prophets of God. And here I refer to the teaching efforts of Jehovah's Witnesses, who always emphasize on the claim of Jesus that he is the way, he is the Alpha, the Omega, as if to the exclusion of all others. That is not how we understand the nature of religions. In fact, in every religion you find the similar claims with reference to the time and with reference to the people to which that religion addresses itself. That in fact is the only way. But it does not mean universally the only way to the exception of all others. In fact, what it means is, now in this context, unless you follow me, you will not be redeemed. And the same is the claim found in every religion. Here we have a religious scholar who has searched far and wide in the teachings of Buddhism, Hinduism, this and that, and he will bear witness to it that this fundamental claim is found in every religion. But the Holy Quran dissolves it by saying that all who were sent for the deliverance of mankind from the sin, who came from the same God, they must be accepted all, one and all, without exception, because they call to the same path. So the path mentioned in relation to Jesus seems to be separate from other paths, But the Holy Quran resolves the problem for us by emphasizing the fact that the path remains the one, the callers to the path are those who differ. So at that time it was Jesus who called to the path of Allah in the living, in the society around him which he was addressing. He was the only caller to that path. But of course there were others, in India, in China, in Africa, even among the Aborigines of Australia, and so also among in the American Indians, as they call them now. So this is what we understand from the word, the path, the only way, etc., etc.
Assalamu alaikum. In the introduction, we are told, or we are informed that Ahmadiyya was formed in 1839.
Now, I can hear your voice more clearly than through microphone, but perhaps other people would also be interested.
Okay.
You better speak to the microphone.
Okay. In the introduction.
Raise it in your direction.
In the introduction.
No, that's not your direction. Yes, that's right. Yes.
In the introduction, we are informed that Ahmadiyya was formed in 1839.
Huh?
That Ahmadiyya was formed, or the founder was brought to life, the birth of Ahmadiyya in 1839. Is that right?
1893.
I couldn't follow. Anybody who would help me? Hassan, have you understood?
1893.
1889.
1889.
Actually, founded in 1893.
Yeah.
That's right, yes.
That's over 100 years now.
Yes, that's right.
Now, within that period, when was it in fact it became to light there's a difference between Ahmadiyya and the main Islam movement, and the main Islamic movement?
Okay.
And what was the cause of this difference?
I will, of course. Thank you very much. Please sit down.
Thank you.
First of all, there is no difference between main Islam and Ahmadiyya community. This is an erroneous question. If there were any difference between Islam and Ahmadiyya community, I would leave Ahmadiyya community. Because Islam is the religion, Islam is the unchangeable faith and path which has been revealed for the benefit of the whole mankind forever as we believe in it. So it is an erroneous way to refer to the differences between Ahmadiyya and others. The right question should be, when did the differences between the Ahmadiyya understanding of Islam and the understanding of the mainstream Muslims of Islam come to light?
Okay.
Is that your question? Mm-hmm. Okay. To that I agree. It did happen that there were differences in the Ahmadiyya understanding of Islam and the non-Ahmadiyya understanding of Islam, which came to light very strongly and powerfully at a certain stage of our history. It all began suddenly, as if when Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian declared that according to the revelation he had received from God, Jesus Christ was not a son of God, he was a prophet. And according to this revelation, all prophets of God have passed away. There is none who is bodily living today in the world. They delivered their ministries, they were given different leases of life, but ultimately they all passed away like human beings, Jesus being no exception. Having declared that, he said that as far as the prophecies of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah